I don't want this to be a gun channel or anything beyond that. I just want to just say it's me figuring out all different kind of whims. And quite frankly, I'm just an Oklahoma country boy. I ain't worth anything beyond that. This is a DPMS LR308. It's got a 16-inch barrel. It's called the Optics Ready or the Sporticle model. I can't quite remember. I did get it used from my little brother, whose wife won it in a raffle. I traded him a Savage 110, and I'm sorry for the movements. Quite frankly, again, I'm a country boy. I ain't used to this. Mr. Gosney, Oklahoma is this part of Oklahoma, which is central Oklahoma, is in the Cross Timbers area of this country. A long shot is either going to be about 100 yards or so in a pasture, or relatively within 25 to 50 in the woods, leaning towards 25, given the fact that I grew up in the woods. Now, the kick on this versus a 5.56 AR-15, which I do have, is going to be a little bit more substantial, but it's not so much that it actually is going to hurt or bother you. My city girl wife has no problem shooting this particular weapon, and quite frankly, she enjoys it because she can see the holes on paper at 100 yards old much easier than she can on a 5.56. It's got a mil-spec trigger, and I believe a 4140 steel barrel, but I really don't care about that kind of thing. So far, it has been quite reliable. The scope is a bit banged up, but she shoots only about 1 inch to the right and 1.5 inches up at 100 yards, and I'm not a sniper. I'm an epileptic who never served. It's good for stopping deer. It's good for stopping hogs. And if I ever get the chance, elk and black bear too. I do have it leaning up against a couple of PMags. It does take the 118 LR PMags, and the bolt does open back because this is a Gen 1 LR308. It does have the high-rise rail, which I'm going to have to address, especially with the canted sights. That said, I'm rarely going to use those canted sights simply because the chamber kicks gas back up in my face when I do use it at a cantilever. This is not necessarily my home defense weapon. That said, about the only real modifications left is I might change to the handguard, or I might put a rail on top of the handguard so I can get a better sight picture. Really, I'm going to move the sling over back and towards the left side of the forestock, and I'm going to add a white light. Even if I don't move the sling, I'm still going to add a white light, simply because Oklahoma does have some crime and predator issues, because sometimes I do have family members who are farmers and predators happen. Currently, she mostly gets the M80 ball in 7.62 by 51, and does pretty good with that. I also have fed 180 and 150 grain Federal soft points and Winchester soft points, and does pretty well with those too. Sometimes the soft points are cheaper than the full metal jackets. Go figure with 308s. Currently, though, the magazine that I usually keep this in has 150 grain Deer Season XP. If you ever see this in Europe, that's Deer Season Extreme Point. Unfortunately, the 90s and early 2000s took the word extreme and just made it cringe here in the States. That said, the cartridge does seem to have a good reputation, and I've been happy with it for what I can. Trigger's not that bad. I've had worse. My AR-15's actually got a Geisley trigger, which is much smoother. And for what I got into her and for what my brothers got into her, she's actually been a pretty good gun. Aside from the gas kicking back, as far as downsides go, is she's a little bit less balanced than my AR-15. My AR-15 is got a collapsible stock and a 20-inch barrel. Also, the AR-15 has, well, a white light on it, and even then, it's still better balanced than this AR-10. For moving around in the brush and the trees and all that, this AR-10 actually ain't that bad. Now, I did kind of waver between using, well, the sense of humor that my biological father gave me, or the sense of morals that my mother gave me. I was raised by an atheist father and a church-going mother. Well, quite frankly, even though my mother does not have the accent and my father does, we are a Southern family. So I'm not going to just go ahead and use too many things, but the idea that this gun has seen every single one of my family members that is male and capable of firing this weapon shoot it, and it's done nothing but give smiles on their faces. I kind of wanted to compare it to either passing an infant around at a family gathering until the diaper gets dirty and then it's time to clean the baby, so it goes back to mom and dad. Or comparing it to Marilyn Monroe at a Kennedy birthday party. Yeah, she becomes a dirty girl, but she always puts a smile on her face. Y'all tell me which way I should go if you ever see this. Anyways, God bless Oklahoma, God bless the U.S., and God bless y'all. Don't play too hard, and enjoy your whims.